to us, big bro. Hey, family, come through. Hey, I got a question for you real quick. Why is it that our businesses fail within the first 5 years?
Bring it up.
Why is it that hey, what's your name, family? What's your name? Why is it that we just can't seem to get right? Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Let us get the understanding today of why it is that we're at the bottom of society. Family in the car, you probably going to work right now. Why is it that we got to work still today? Even though we was slaves for 400 years, we still got to work for the same people that put us in slavery. Why do we still have to pay taxes?
Bring it out.
Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If we do not listen to the voice of God that's coming out right now, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
We have to do all the commandments that God stated for us. Because why? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the true biblical Israelites. We are the ones that this Bible was made for. We have to do what the Bible says in order to get the blessings. But keep reading.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Read.
That all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
All these curses are going to fall upon the Israelites for breaking God's commandments. If we don't do what God says, then our condition in every city is going to be cursed. Read that again.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
What do we have to do as the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? We have to keep God's commandments. That's the only thing that we have not tried. That's the only thing that we have not done. We have to keep God's commandments in order to get out of this condition.
That's right.
We always ask ourselves, why can't we get right? Why are we the ones who hate each other the most? Why is there a black and Hispanic Compton in Chicago, but there's no such thing as that in the other nations? Why? It's because we don't keep God's commandments.
That's right.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses. What is one of the curses that we would go through for breaking God's commandments? Read that. Big bro. Big bro. What's one of the curses that the Israelites would go through if we didn't keep God's commandments? This is right here. Keep reading.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
We're cursed in every city you see blacks and Hispanics in. Why? Because we don't keep his commandments. God says, thou shalt not hate one another. Thou shalt love thy brother as we love ourselves. We don't keep that commandment. So guess what happens? We end up killing each other for the smallest reasons. We end up selling drugs to each other, not caring about our own children. All of these problems are based on us not keeping God's commandments. That's all it is.
That's right.
It's that simple. But we always want to search and find a more complex answer when it's the simplest answer. Read that again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Every city you see us in is cursed. We are cursed. We at the bottom. Hey, family. My two brothers right there, one in the gray hoodie. We cursed in the city, fam. Who are the people out every city who have the most gangs, who have the most street violence? Read that.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Hey family, what y'all going to do right now? What y'all up to? We your big bros, we your family. Come highlight us. Read that again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
We are cursed in the city because we break God's commandments. We break God's laws. That's why we are a lawless nation of people.
That's right.
Read.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
And we're cursed in the work field, the workforce. What? All right. Read that again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
We are cursed in the field, the workforce, the work field. Every 5 years, our businesses don't even last 5 years. And if we do get a business, guess what? We're going to get charged more for the products that we got to sell. And then when a Walmart comes in, we can't even compete.
That's right.
Down goes the business.
That's
Why?
right.
We are cursed in the city and we are cursed in the work field. Why? Because we break God's laws. At first it was working on slave plantations, picking cotton. That was the field that we worked in. Now we working in tech companies and still can't make it by. Still can't even afford to live in San Francisco. Still getting gentrified out. Still getting redlined. Why? Read that again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Why are we cursed in the city and cursed in the field? Because we break God's commandments. Read verse 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Because our people, hold on 1 second. Do it like this. Because read that again.
The stranger that is within thee,
the strange nations that are around us, because we are the ones who love to adopt everybody else's culture. We love to be surrounded by all the other nations and follow all their ways rather than God's ways. So read that again.
The stranger that is within thee,
the strange nations that we live around, read,
shall get above thee very high.
Shall get above us very high. So their businesses in our communities are going to last longer than our businesses in our communities. Why? Because we refuse to keep God's laws. Read.
And thou shalt come down very low.
We have come down to the bottom of society to where we're the only nation on earth who has to fight for equality.
That's right.
What other nation fights for equality? Every other nation. China's fighting for supremacy. Russia's fighting for supremacy. We're fighting for equality. Why? Because we're at the bottom of society.
That's right.
Begging and scratching and scraping to make it by. Read.
He shall lend to thee.
He shall have the banks. The strangers of in the land, the other nations are going to be the ones who have the banks and are the people that we have to go to get loans. Read.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
How you doing, sis? How you doing, sis? How you doing, big bro? Hey, sis, do you believe in God? She got her headphones on. Hey, sis, do you believe in God? Sister, this scripture is for you. Read that again.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
So who are the people who have to go and get a loan by the other nations that have come up very high upon us? It's us. Who are the people who have the most trouble getting those loans? It's us. How you doing, big bro? Hey, do we have to go to our enemies to get loans? Why is it that we're at the bottom of society after working 400 years? Why is it that we're still at the bottom of society, big bro? You as a leader need to understand the answer to that question. Read.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
So the people of the land that we're surrounded by, which God calls our enemies, are going to be the ones we have to go to for the want of all things. Give me that. Verse 48. Give me that. We have to go to our enemies, those same people that put us in slavery. We have to ask them for a loan. We have to ask them for everything. Read.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Shall we serve what?
Thine enemies.
We have to serve our enemies. God didn't say that they're our friends, but why? If God says they're our enemies, why are we the ones trying to always integrate? Why are we the ones always trying to ingratiate ourselves with all the other nations, with everything that they do, rather than keeping God's laws, rather than following Christ? Why is it that we do that? Because we have self-hatred against ourselves and we have hatred against God. How you doing, sis? What's your name? Lauren. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So, have you ever heard us? Have you ever seen us before? Okay, check this out. According to the Bible, what is your nationality, sis? Black. Black. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you went to an airport and you were trying to get a plane ticket to the land of black, where would they take you? Africa?
Don't listen to him.
You know, do you know? See, you see that right there? What did God call them? Read that.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
That's what God calls them, your enemies. She's telling you not to listen to God. Can you believe that? Who in the Bible tells the Israelites not to listen to God? It's Satan. You understand? So check this out. You're about to find out something very special about yourself. So you said that you would get a plane ticket to Africa, right? But Africa's a continent with over 50 countries in it. Which one do you come from? Right. I'm gonna tell you straight, sis. If you ask for a plane ticket to the land of black, you would stay in that airport. There's no place that they would take you to. That means black is not a nationality. That's the point, sis.
That's right.
Right? So what is your nationality? I'm gonna ask you. You don't know, right? Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. Now, sis, you just fulfilled a prophecy in the Bible. You don't even know who your people are in your own history book.
That's right.
Read that.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3.
Read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So, Lauren, God says the ox knows his owner and the ass his master's crib. He's comparing his children, the true children of Israel, to two dumb animals. Why? Because a few years ago, I didn't know who I was. I was saying the same thing that you saying just now. So it's not you, it's the condition that we're in that keeps us from knowing this. Right. But this is God talking about us, and this is the prophecy you're fulfilling right now. Read that.
But Israel doth not know.
But Israel, if you ask Israelites who they are today in this modern time, we would be the only people on earth who don't know. Why don't we know, Lauren?
The whole world been watching us, talking about how are these men calling themselves the sons of God. Where was the questions when they was putting us on slave ships? Where was the questions when they raped our daughters, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers? We can't live in certain neighborhoods. So we're giving y'all your separation as we create a new nation.
IUIC.
Israel united in Christ.
Let's go. Stand behind us, protect you. Stand beside us, respect you. But if you stand in the way, then you gon' rule the day when we have to dissect you. Rain fire upon the tempter. Woo, it's hot, check the temperature. The prophecy back, yeah, and they black. Babylon, feel pressure.
When you hear that thunder, it's lightning, go check on the weatherman. I'm just saying, can't think of a better plan than obeying the lamb. Anything else is a scam. Need Bruce to get shot in this wartime. It's a sea of that purple, no short line. Cause we breaking the mold and changing the game with zero emojis. Flame, flame, flame.
You know that this lit ain't no turning down. Yeah, we running this race so we get a crown. And we stop on the heat until he hit the ground. Yeah, we trading the wine press. Into that kingdom, no time left. No end.
Lauren, we don't know because we went into slavery.
Right.
When we went into slavery, what did they do to us? They stripped us of everything. They stripped us and they whipped us. Guess what, sis? In slavery, they took our name from us.
Right.
Right? What's your last name, sis? Kelly. So that means that you belong to what plantation? The Kelly plantation. And in 2023, they're talking about we're all equal and all this type of stuff, but you still walking around with that slave master's name on it.
That's right.
I'm telling, come on, sis. You know why? Because you smart. Now, sis, let me tell you, Lauren, let me tell you this, sis. Who is this guy? Who do they say this guy is? Yeah. They say that's Jesus, right? Revelation 1:14. Sister, I'm going to tell you straight. You're not what you thought you were. You're not black. You're not African American. You are an Israelite. Do they call you so-called African American? Okay, you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Guess who else comes from the tribe of Judah? Christ, the black Messiah. Now let's find out if this is Christ or this is Christ according to the Bible. And you're going to have to answer me which one it is, okay? Read that.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1.
Listen up.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Jump to verse 14.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So who is this describing who has
That's around
white woolly hair? This one right here, right? Hey sis, you have woolly hair too. Like the sheep wool. That's what your hair look like. So what about this guy? That's straight hair. So we're seeing a difference between what they tell us and what is really real. Read that.
As white as snow.
So the hair on his head and the hair on his face was white woolly hair. He had a beard. Read. Listen up, sis. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So who has the because he drank wine in moderation, right? So who has the red colored eyes? Because when you drink wine, when certain black men drink wine, guess what? Our eyes turn a little bit red, right? So who has the red colored eyes? This one right here. This guy got blue eyes, right? Read that.
And his feet.
So that's strike 2. Read.
And his feet.
So if you took your socks and shoes off, I'm guaranteeing that your feet gonna be around the same color as your arms and your face, right? Just like mine. So back then they wore sandals. So the prophet was looking at his feet. Read.
Like unto fine brass.
And his feet was like unto fine brass. So this is what brass looks like. But let's see what kind of brass he's talking about. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. So if you take something that's already brown and you burn it, what color is it? It's black.
That's right.
So which one has the white woolly hair, the red eyes, and the black skin? So which one does Christ look like? This is what Christ looked like. So why is it that every person, why is it that when you look Jesus up on Google or anywhere, they're gonna give you this? Because in slavery, were we allowed to read?
Bring it out.
We were not allowed to read. Why? Because this Bible, which is our history book, would tell us you can't keep a people in slavery when they know that they're related to the King of Kings. They had to discontinue or disconnect us from this image. You understand? Who did that? This is who did that. They gave us the Baptist religion. They gave what? John Smith in 1608 gave us the Baptist religion. This is where all the religion that the so-called Negroes follow today.
That's right.
Guess what about these dates, though? Look at these dates. Where were we in 1608? We were in slavery. We were in slavery. So they set up these religions while we were in slavery to keep us in slavery.
That's right.
To make us satisfied with this fake white Jesus. To make it to where when we look at them, we see this image of a fake white Jesus. That's why when you go into Oakland, San Francisco, you go into any of our neighborhoods, you see white folks walking around safer than us.
Dang.
It's still psychologically there.
That's right.
Because how do you maintain on a plantation a bunch of big black buff slaves that can snap you like a twig? How do you maintain 100 of them, but it's only you and your little white family? You have to do it psychologically.
That's right.
If they come against me, they're coming against God. They're coming against Jesus. That's the programming, and that's why we kill each other down and shoot each other down in the streets today. You understand? So we're here to show you that. Yeah, go ahead.
Sis, remember when you first stepped up, what that lady said off the bus? She said we racist, right? Now, I want to read the definition of racist, right? Because a lot of people try to say we racist, but let's see what the definition says. Read that right there. You're coming right back.
Yeah.
That one right there. Yes, sir. Racist.
Definition of racist. Of relating to or characterized by the systematic oppression.
So relating to or characterized. There's characteristics behind a systematic oppression. So there's a system set up to oppress. Now let's see. Keep reading.
Of a racial group.
Of a racial group. So now on the earth, God created 18 nations. Outside of those nations, there spawned other families. They're still the same 18 nations, just different families. Now out of that, one in particular says we have to be above everybody else, right? Read that part again.
Excuse me. Relating to or characterized by the systematic oppression of a racial group.
Of a racial group.
To the social, economic.
To social, economic.
And political.
Advantage. Social. Do we have the social advantage? Do we have the economic advantage? Do we have the political advantage? Of what?
Of another.
To have an advantage over another group of people.
Right.
So now, by definition, are we racist? Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48, and then you coming right back. I want to show you something real quick, sis. Because as he's going through this and showing you this, and this is not hatred, this is helping to bring our people back to who we are and remembering that we are a great people. So we cannot ever be racist, because you have to be in power in order to be racist, to make your race have an advantage over everybody else.
Right.
Last time I checked, we don't own the liquor stores. Right. We don't own McDonald's. We don't own the corporations. Right. We don't own the political system. Right. So how can we be racist when we coming out here trying to uplift our people? Right. The problem is they want to keep our people at the bottom of society. So anytime anything uplifting comes in this area, it's racist. But they don't say nothing to the drug dealers running up and down the street selling dope all day. They don't say nothing to our brothers sagging their pants and our sisters hoeing down there in the tenderloins all day. They don't say none of that. They don't say none of that's racist. They don't never speak on that. And they say, oh, no, that's a bad thing. But guess what? No, they don't want to say nothing because they understand as long as you stay in that condition, you stay on the bottom and they stay on the top. Read what you got.
First Maccabees.
Oh, sorry.
First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48.
Watch this, sis.
And laid open the book of the law.
So now they took our book and laid it open. They're inside of our book looking, examining, and looking at the images that have been displayed in there from the beginning, which are black images. Read.
Wherein the heathen,
the other nations, the other race that now have social, economic, and political power, read,
had sought to paint the likeness.
They took a paintbrush and did what? They sought to paint the likeness
of their images.
That's racist.
Right.
That's racist.
Right.
To take an image that you own that looks like you and paint it a different color.
Right.
That's racist. Because
Right.
I have the social, economic, and political power to do it. So let's stop this foolishness. Let's get them out of our minds trying to tell us what we are and who we are.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Give me that Job 9:24 just to back up the officer, just to back him up. Because we have to understand that she said that out that window for you. She doesn't care about if you're struggling to pay rent. She doesn't care about your condition or what's going on in your life. She just doesn't want you waking up to who you are. Why? Read that in Job 9:24.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
This is why they have that political power. This is why they have the economic power. That's why they have the social and religious power over us. Because what?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The just are not ruling today. That's why they swap out the images of your forefathers and tell you that you're nothing but a Gentile, when you are the real Jew.
Right.
Read that.
He covereth the faces of the judges.
He covers the faces of the judges. This is the judge right here, Christ. We got to stand before him. Come on over here, sis. I see you over there filming. We your family over here. So what color is Christ?
Black.
He's black. Read that again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So why does not every church, white churches, black churches, why don't they have this image? Why do they have this white image? Why when you look it up on Google, you're going to see this rather than this? Why? Read that again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked people rule this earth. That's why everything's topsy-turvy. That's why you got 14-year-olds that can go out there and get a sex change operation without getting your permission. They just passed a law that you can do that. That's why abortions are so high. That's why all the things that go against God are the things that are praised in this world. Read.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covers up the faces of what God and Christ and the real Jews look like, which is here, and he gives you this, so that it can destroy your mind to make you think that you're nothing and less. Read.
If not, where and who is he?
If it's not the wicked man who gave us this, then who did that? Who gave us the false image of Christ if it's not this man here?
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is